Good evening. We're now going to proceed with the City Council meeting of October 28th, 2025. I think we have a quorum. Do I have a motion to proceed with the meeting?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to proceed with the order. I'd like to stand, pledge allegiance. Aye. I pledge allegiance to the flag. To the state. One nation. Indivisible. Bow our heads for a small prayer. Father, please be with this council tonight as we discuss the present issues that have arisen lately. Be with the council that they do a fair and just comment, and then keep in mind the best interests of the city. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, first on the agenda, I have a motion to approve the minutes from September and the October 14th.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the minutes for the September 30th and October 14th meeting have been approved. At this time, I would like to put an amendment into the agenda. I would like at the end of this meeting, after the open discussion, that we go into an executive session. Do I have a motion for that? Well, the purpose would be to discuss the personnel issues that have been arisen in the recent comments.
All personnel issues?
We'll involve several people, yes. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
I would vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, then we will, after the council meeting, we will go into an executive session. Did everybody have a chance to look at the treasury report? Do we have an approval for the treasury report as read?
Aye.
In a second.
No.
Second.
Aye.
Vote?
We have reviewed it. Aye.
No. Aye.
Okay, it passed. As far as current business, I would like to just talk about, we had that car show last weekend. Everyone I talked to thought it was a big success. They would like to come back again in the spring to do it again. They told me that they would have about 75 to 80 cars there. We had over 100. So, it was, it was a nice success, and I've been hearing good reports on it. The next thing on the current business is I'm asking the council on the purchasing policy to please review it again. If you have any corrections that you want to make on it, we will bring it up on the work session coming up. So if any corrections, additions, or anything like that, we'll go into it in that work session. The last item on current business, the police chief, the investigation has been completed, and Billy McDaniels tendered his resignation to me on Saturday. So that is over and done. Going to go into new business. The public hearing that we had scheduled for the budget, we didn't have a quorum, we didn't have anybody come in. So we're going to try again to have this public hearing on the work session prior to so we'll do it at like 6 o'clock instead of 7. And then from there from 7 o'clock we'll go into the regular work session. But we have to have a public input and a quorum to discuss the proposed budget for 2026. And that would also, the other part of that would be voting on the new budget. I would like to if possible, maybe change some dates of our council meetings, in November and December, being that they're right before Thanksgiving and Christmas, that maybe we could do the council meeting maybe the week before and then vote on the budget then, and then the same thing if we hold a regular council meeting the week before Christmas vacation. So just moving, instead of that last Tuesday, do it, the Tuesday before.
Was it the 22nd?
Yeah.
You mean the 23rd
You'll moving it up.
for December?
In December, move it 1 week up, but Christmas Eve is,
Oh, yeah, December 23rd is the Tuesday.
yeah, so,
Would we rather do it, would we want to keep it on the 30th?
I mean, like I said, I would like the budget vote, I would like to maybe in November move to the 18th. Or if you want any other days that week would be, suffice.
So what dates are we looking at?
We're looking at the November 18th. To possibly, if we have a quorum and we go through the public hearing, okay?
And then
that we
swear
can-
in.
That we can go, right.
And we're also going to swear in the new officer, or the new council on the 18th as well,
Now, Holly needs to be sworn in.
after the vote. The vote is on the 4th,
Right.
so those new members. would
They can be
Sworn in as soon as the 10th.
So, my understanding is we have 3 council member seats up for election, correct? There was one special election in which only one candidate qualified, so we canceled that election, is that correct?
Correct.
That candidate is actually eligible to be sworn in. They can take that seat, so, because they're just filling in the shoes.
So Holly can-
So Holly could start now.
She can't, yeah. The people that are running for the other 2 seats, is it just one other?
Yeah,
seat?
just one other seat.
Okay. That will be, obviously, they're going to vote on November the 4th, once it's certified by the state. They don't actually take over that new term until January 1st.
Well, according to our charter, I think it says the Monday after the election.
I thought it was special election.
Because I think there was even special provision in there for 2025, which is
With
this
that-
year.
Do you know what part of the charter it's in?
I'm having trouble hearing you. I'll pull the mic over here.
Sorry.
So Mayor, while she's looking for that, are we only going to meet on November 18th or which other?
We'll still have the work session,
On the 11th.
On the 11th.
yeah, because we have to do the public hearing for the budget. And then if we get through that, then on the 18th, we can vote the budget. And then in December, we have the work session on the 9th, and then, like I said, possibly move from the 23rd to the 16th, or if you want to do the 30th, but that's, either of those 2 days would be fine. But I just, figured we have Christmas holiday and stuff like that.
I'd rather do it after Christmas.
Okay.
Pre-Christmas is stuff.
I did find that in the charter. It's section 3-102B, and it does say, I think it's the 3rd sentence, that the successors shall be elected at the municipal election immediately preceding the expiration of the term of office, shall take office on the Monday following the election, and shall serve terms of 4 years. So, you're right. So, I guess the Monday following the election.
Yeah, because I read that after the fact that I waited till January
Did you?
and I could have started in November.
So, yeah, just whoever wins the election that month following Monday.
All right, so then we're talking November 18th, and then December 30th. We're moving the council meeting to,
Oh, so we're leaving December 30th, you said?
I would prefer to.
it would be
I'm fine either way. Okay.
I'm good.
do that. Good, try to do a vote.
Yeah, I mean, on the date, go ahead and just say.
All right, do we have a vote for November 18th and December 30th? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. Do I vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, So that'll be what we do then. Next thing was,
So wait, again, just to recap, make sure everybody heard it. Our next official city council meeting is not going to be November 25th, the last Tuesday of November. It'll be November 18th, and then December 30th for December.
what'll happen on the 18th, we'll try to vote the budget in. The 30th will be the new building code. So, possibly.
The new building code is going to be a brand new ordinance. So you need a first read at one meeting and a second read.
Yeah, we'll have that piece. And then we're going to have that out so that everybody can get a chance to read it first. See how it goes. Okay. The next thing is our checking account, the general fund. What's happening? So the bank called us and notified us. There was a check that was written out to WEX cards, and somehow it didn't make it to WEX. It got into somebody's little hands, and they put it out on the internet, and they sold the account number off the check. The bank caught it. It was like $25,000 of checks that were in the process of being processed by the bank. So they have the check numbers and the amounts of those, so they won't let anything else get cashed under the old account. A new account was issued that day, that Friday when we found out, they working with South State, and so they're monitoring our account. There's a new checking account number. We had to leave $25,000 in the old account to cover any checks that was outstanding. So there's a new account number for the city, for the general fund.
I got a question on that. When did that happen?
Friday. So they called us and they told us we're working with their security division. Matter of fact, I think we had somebody try to cash another check that nobody knew who they were. Somebody from down in North Coast tried to cash a check when the account and it was stopped. So the bank is monitoring any old activity on the old accounts number, and they have the list of the checks that were written that were good and supposed to be paid, by the bank. So they are aware of what's going on, and they will keep us informed on what's going on with the account. Okay. The final thing on the new business.
Wait, I'm sorry, just for here. The check that was attempted to be cashed, so that was one that was printed, or?
Somebody else printed another check using that account number. Right. They caught it was the check that was written to WEX Industries for the gas purchases, stuff like that. Whether they never got it, didn't make it through the post office, somebody stole it, and then they tried to sell the account number out on the internet. So that's what we were told. So.
But this happens Friday after Councilman Gomez's inquiries, right?
Well, Councilman Gomez's inquiry has been going on for a couple of weeks.
But I mean,
yeah.
Based on the market there.
Yeah.
That specific market. Okay.
Well, that has.
That has nothing to do
No, I don't have nothing to do with it. I'm just
It's a timeline, right?
Right, exactly.
As soon as we start asking for documents and invoices, now all of a sudden the account gets hacked. But I didn't get any WEX card stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it's probably most likely was done through, it looks like it was done through the mail.
Yeah.
It was most likely done through the mail,
Yeah.
because it was,
So
they knew the amount of the bank knew the amount of the check.
I'm assuming the bank, can you pull up video of who was trying to cash it?
Yeah, track that.
The bank, South State is looking into it further, but they knew the check number that was stolen, they knew the amount was stolen, and that's why we found out that, it was the check that was written to the WEX to pay the
Sure.
bill.
All right. But I just want to make sure that it's based on the WEX card, and so not necessarily sent to the food line.
Nope,
Okay.
no.
All right, just making sure.
No, it was something that was probably done through the mail.
Yes, sir.
Or, at WEX themselves, somebody stole it.
Okay.
How many checks were stolen? Just one check.
One check, and someone else tried to write a check, I think today, or they tried to cash a check today for another $5,000.
So they told the routing number and the account number, and they
Made a check.
made a check.
So it's major.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't get one of the steps.
No,
No.
Mr. Mayor, why are we sending physical checks through the mail and not just doing an ACH?
Some of the companies don't allow that.
West.
They do, but
Yeah.
Okay,
But it's just that, we have who can count with them, so,
all right.
you know.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So it's on the agenda for the work session.
The next on the agenda is Councilman Gomez's inquiry into the city. It's your floor.
my floor. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a minute, and hope y'all can give me some time here because there's a few things to go over here. I will say that I'm here going by what the charter says. I know a couple of y'all have a copy of the charter, and so I want to review a couple of things here on the charter that have been going here in the city, and I'm sure I will get retaliation for it, and I'll get called this and that, but I can handle it. The charter states, section 2-204, inquiries and investigations. The mayor and council may inquire and have investigations into the affairs of the city and the conduct of any department, office, or any joint or independent commission, board, authority of the city. For purpose, the mayor and council may subpoena witnesses, administer oaths, take testimony, and require production of evidence in the same manner as the Superior Court of Jackson County. As I was going through some treasury reports, there was a couple of payments made to a company by the name of Timber and Tools. When I sent Jennifer an email, and she's not here today, I'll see her here. When I sent Jennifer an email, she said that Timber and Tools was owned by Renee Martinez, the city manager, or city clerk, right? So my question to her was, why was this Timber and Tools created? And Mr. Mayor, did you know about this, or were you aware of this? Was the council aware of this?
I was aware of it.
You were aware of it? Were any council members aware of it?
probably a couple weeks ago.
You were?
Yeah.
Were you both?
When all this went down, that's
When all this went down, I wasn't aware of it. Were you aware of it?
I didn't know the company, so.
Okay. Do you know why it was created?
She doesn't have to answer any questions to you right now, but it was, from my understanding, was that he was doing a lot of other work. Her husband had been doing a lot of other work outside, and therefore they came up with this company for payments.
Gotcha. So Renee's husband was paid $15,000. You don't have to answer this if you don't need it. $15,000 to renovate the police department. Then he was paid another $10,000 under his name, and then all of a sudden DBA was created and added to the vendor list. And so August the payment was made to the DBA, and September payment was made to the DBA.
Okay,
One was for $1,050 and the other was for $120. So when I asked Jennifer, the finance person, is Ricardo Martinez, I asked her on October 16th, is Ricardo Martinez receiving any more money from the city after the 2 payments that he received to remodel the police department? She responded to me, Ricardo is not listed as a vendor in the new system, so no payments have been made to him since July. I have attached a list of vendors from the current QB system to show Ricardo Martinez is not listed as one of them. But then I see Timber and Tools, and I asked her, who's the owner of Timber and Tools? And she says, Renee Martinez. So, to me, I feel like that was kind of deceptive. I feel like I was being lied to. Just my opinion, but let me tell you what the charter says.
Okay, let's clarify that. So Ricardo Martinez is listed as himself, as one of the people that will receive payments up through July, but not after July, right? And then after July, Timber and Tools was listed as a vendor.
Yeah, so Ricardo Martinez was hired to remodel the police department.
Sure. But that was...
Now, that wasn't brought before the council to vote on it. He was just hired to do it.
Right.
So, it was my understanding that he was hired to do it because it was an emergency. It had to be done immediately. They had to get all this stuff out of this house over here. So I understood, right? Even though it wasn't brought before the council. But then all of a sudden in August, it was changed to a DBA. Why? I have no idea. She doesn't have to answer it. But to me, after I asked Jennifer, why was it changed, or hey, what happened here? Is Ricardo getting any more money? She said no. So why did she just not say, well, he was getting it under his name, but we made a DBA now in a company name at Renee's address, and we're going to start paying that company for work done here in the city. I didn't understand that. That was confusing to me. So I just want to read what the charter says about that. Section 4-401, conflict of interest, holding other offices. Elected and appointed officers of the city, including but not limited to the city administrator, are trustees and servants of residents of the city and shall act in fiduciary capacity for the benefit of such residents. Conflict of interest. No elected official, appointed officer, or employee of the city or agency or political entity to which the Chapter 5 shall knowingly engage in any business or transaction and have a financial or personal interest, direct or indirect, which is incompatible with the proper discharge of that person's official duties and which would tend to impair the independence of the official judgment or action and performance of those official duties. Shall not accept as any valuable gift, whether in form of service, loan, thing, or promise from any person, form, or corporation, which the official knowledge is interested in, directly or indirectly, in any manner whatsoever, in business dealings with governmental bodies by which official is engaged, provide, however, that an elected official is a candidate for public office, may accept campaign contributions. May not represent other private parties in any action proceedings against the city or a portion of government. Disclosure. Any elected official, appointed officer, or employee shall have a financial interest, directly or indirectly, in contract or matter pending before or within any department of the city, shall disclose such interest to the city council. I didn't write this. Any city officer or employee who knowingly conceals such financial interest, knowingly violates any requirements of this section, shall be guilty of malfeasance in office or position and shall be deemed to have forfeited the person's office or position. This was passed back in 2021 by Representative Benton. Are you aware that Renee's adult children are working here in the city as well?
Yes. Are you aware that Renee's daughter, Hannah, has been working for the city for 8 years?
That's not what, well, that's not what this employee report here says that they sent to me. Now, Jennifer sent me a list of the employees, and they're hired.
She was just basically doing contract work, and you know very well.
No, don't say you know, because I don't know. I'm learning here.
Well, yeah. But you know, Hannah's been working in Pendergrass as a part-time employee that's under
How do I know?
Because you've been here for how many years?
5 years?
5 years. You've been in the KISS council?
A year and a half.
Right. So you've been here since June of 2023. You've been on the council. Hannah's been working for the city under Rob Russell's hiring that she's been doing.
And under your
I just,
position as well, right?
I just let it go. I did not fire anybody.
I'm just asking a question, so you do know.
I knew that she was working here. Yes, I knew she was.
And Wesley at the police department,
And Wesley-
officer here as well.
Wesley used to be a police officer here back in, I think, December of 2023. He left in March, then he came back in May of 5th of this year, hired by Billy McDaniels.
Mhm.
Now, at the time of the standard police operation, the police chief has authority to hire and fire employees. Right, so therefore, he was hired by Billy McDaniels, so it has nothing to do with anything that Renee does in business.
But you're aware that I'll ask this question. You're
Yeah.
aware that
Yeah, I'm aware.
adult children are working here in the city.
Yes, I am. You know, I mean, and they have been, and they've hired under previous administration.
So when Jennifer sent me this, hire date of June of 2025, it's in that fall. June 30th, 2025.
So
Hannah?
she got put on, when we found out she was doing contract, we were trying to get rid of all the contract people, so we put her as a part-time employee. All the road departments, the same way. Most of them were all contract employees, therefore the city didn't have to pay them any benefits, had to take any taxes out of their paychecks, so it was all done like they were being paid under the table, basically, so the city could save money, not paying taxes or benefits. So
Do you
all
think,
the people that were here have now,
do you think it's fair for all these three to be working here when other people have gone up to the city hall to apply for jobs and have been denied or not even got a call back?
we've had interviews, if you, like Jennifer, when we hired Jennifer, we had 4 girls came in for interviews.
I'm just saying, does it look normal, is it a conflict when you have a family working up here and other people are coming to apply for jobs and they're not hired or even called back?
Well, they were applying for a job that was open, and I know there was no part-time job that we were hiring for. We were hiring for a full-time financial person. Jennifer came in, applied for the job. We had several other people come in for interviews for the job. Jennifer was hired because she had just graduated college with a degree in finance, and she was familiar with the bookkeeping system that we had.
Is this the same Jennifer that said that Ricardo Martinez was not receiving any payments and was not on the vendors list? She had taken them off.
He was never on the vendors list. He was basically paid as a subcontractor coming in. Same thing like
So that
before.
she's saying something different than.
Well, you know, I don't know what Jennifer's saying. Yeah. But anyway,
But Hannah was hired officially back when,
8 years ago,
right, she was brought on officially earlier this
This
year
year.
when that part-time position was open and we made that announcement.
that we made her a part-time
No.
employee.
Okay, that's all.
That's different. Remember, she was contract, she's been
Right, but who
contracted.
filled that role? Who filled
Well,
that
it's
part-time?
still the same role,
It's
but
the
they
same
were
role.
moving everyone that was contract
I understand
to a
that.
part-time.
But when we made the announcement in, was it June, I think?
Yeah.
Right, and we put it out to everybody, were there other candidates for that position?
It wasn't open.
It was open.
It was
when
open.
We made the announcement, I remember.
There became 2 positions
Okay.
open.
Okay.
So that one's also been filled by another lady.
So,
So Hannah's position was never open. It was switching
The other person.
from one to the next.
Sure,
It
part-time.
wasn't- Right.
Okay.
and so Renee, you're the city hall court clerk and Hannah's the deputy clerk?
Well, they're all called deputy clerks in the city hall.
Y'all work together in the
all of
same-
We don't share an office.
Y'all work in the same building, same house over there?
Well, I work in the same building as the planning and zoning as well.
I just asked.
And as far as the Ricardo Martinez, I mean, like I said, I hired him to do the police, to do the move.
Right.
And then 4 payments that you were questioning about, I mean, he had 2 payments that were, when he first started getting the material and all that, all right, there was some design changes done inside, so he got 1 payment. When he finished the job, the initial part of the job, he got his 2nd payment. Then when we had the incident with the GBI investigation of the police chief, and we had to redo the evidence room, he was brought back to cut a hole in the wall so we could put that locker in the wall.
But didn't you say that it was already approved back in May, all the remodeling here?
But the GBI
The
investigation,
initial work was done approved in May, correct? When
Was
they
it
had to
GBI?
give everything,
No.
oh, no, the GBI.
this is all part of continuation of redoing the police department with the investigation of the GBI and how the handling of some of the evidence.
That's
That
$1,000.
we bought another locker.
So you can go out and bid and say, hey, does anybody else want to come do this job? Is there something that's special here that we're showing special privilege to people that are not in the city, or that are not part of the city employees?
Are
I
we
mean,
gonna bid?
are we bidding at all?
Well, I thought on our new thing,
Here's the problem.
$5,000 wouldn't even go out.
No, it doesn't go into a bid.
Well, here's the problem, Dave, right? The city council had the authority, and it's in the charter, that they were supposed to come up with a purchasing policy. The city council has failed to do that, all right? If you read the charter, you would see that you were liable or supposed to come up with a purchasing policy. There is none. There was none in the city.
That's what we're working.
So we're working on that. But just because there's not a purchasing policy doesn't mean that you can just, you can just come in here and you have a family working here, you can, not do the right thing and just get different people to do the job. I mean, what does the purchasing policy have to do with somebody changing the name into a DBA? To me, that was deceptive of her telling me that he was not getting any money.
Well, the thing is, that he was basically finishing a job that was already started. He was familiar with the construction of the wall. He knew where all the outlets were. He knew what had to be done. So, and that locker that you saw and I saw,
Yep.
I mean, it was quite a heavy unit. So he had to cut a hole in the wall and finish it off again. So that's what he was paid to do. And then the last little bit was when he put the locks on these doors, the security locks that we put on the door.
I mean, I know what he did. I'm just trying to figure out why we didn't
Well, I did, but at one time.
bid it out, get different people to do it,
Well,
why different people aren't.
when I became mayor, right, and I did call another contractor to come out and look at, building the wall and all that, but he didn't respond to come out. So then that's when I went to Carl about it. And then, the reason being that, he's been doing a lot of work with the city in the past, as you know, and you didn't object to. He built the amphitheater.
Yeah.
He built
I'm not objecting to him doing the work. I'm objecting to changing and hiding the name so he can still get money. I don't know why that DBA was created. To me, it's very deceitful when somebody tells me he's not getting it, and then all of a sudden now he's getting it under a DBA.
No, I mean, as a business owner, you got to respect the fact that he might have been a sole proprietorship, and now that he's getting older and getting more work, now he's going to expand, so it's going to be timber and tools, and that way he can have other people work.
But when I ask who owns the company, Jennifer responds to me, Renee.
Right. But again, that's a family business. So again, I'm going to protect the family business.
Well, hold on.
In the right
Well, hold on. And so Renee owns the business, and so you think it's okay that Renee signed all the checks to the business?
That I have an issue with, and it definitely calls into question.
Hallelujah. Thank God. Good Lord, I feel like I'm on a planet here where nobody's understanding what's going on here.
Well, I understand your issues with this. However, a lot of stuff, pre-policy meetings and budget meetings and things like that were not being dealt with. Now, I
want to keep talking about Ronald. Bill Ellis came in here to make change.
Okay.
So we're going to talk from when Bill Ellis came in here, things were going to change.
Okay, but in this case, let's
And
talk.
they haven't changed, and so that's why I bring this up, because we need to make changes
Okay.
for the better.
Hold on, we are making those changes. That's where that work session needed to happen for the budget meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, but you couldn't make that budget meeting,
I couldn't,
so that quorum couldn't happen.
Yeah.
So that's why we're pushing it back to the 11th.
Gotcha.
So once that 11th budget policy happens, we can make it official. Now, remember when she also talked to us about caps, right? Money minimums, whether it's 10,000, 15,000, 25,000.
Yeah.
So the mayor has the right to decide, especially in an emergency situation, when we've got to get documentation and get evidence secured, he's got the right to go to somebody.
But I'm not.
So have the competencies, the capabilities, and the experience, and the prior work, and the relationship here locally to get this stuff done quickly and in an emergency.
But that's not the argument. That's what we keep bringing back to.
Again, I'm saying that from what this stuff happened,
Yeah.
this stuff is okay. Now, moving forward, I understand where you're also concerned about the fact that there are many people that work in Pendergrass. That also represents the heart of Pendergrass.
No.
They have dedicated years of service to Pendergrass.
My concern is that there's a whole family working
All right.
here for the city. My concern is that Renee is signing her check, the payroll check for herself,
I get it.
Ricardo's check, her kid's check.
But
I mean, it's
not-
something
But
about,
the
But that's not,
you know, the copies here, you know what I'm saying?
her kid gets direct deposit.
It doesn't matter.
No, that's not the check.
You want to see it?
I just, Dave, here's the, I'm gonna tell you the policy.
So tell me the-
There's a process.
We have
If
a
the
process.
bill comes in, what happens to that?
The
bill?
process comes, bills come in, Jennifer gets the bills, okay? They come upstairs to me.
This is what you don't have purchasing policy.
Right. They come up to me after that, and we go over the bills, and I approve the payment of the bills. Jennifer writes the checks. Renee, after the checks have been approved by me to be printed, Renee has the ability to sign the checks. I have the ability to sign the checks. Jennifer now has the ability to sign the checks.
So then she does have the ability to sign the check, right?
After they went through a three-step process. Yes.
Okay.
So they got brought in, they got entered into the account books, they got approved by me, and then the check.
So she should be, she's allowed, even though you approve it.
Even though
She can sign her own check.
the check is printed by the computer prints out, all she does is sign the check.
I'm just asking a
That's
question.
all.
Does she sign it or not?
She can, yes.
Okay.
It's just a check that she's just able to sign. Did you sign your paycheck at your insurance company?
I don't know.
You don't
My
know.
wife signs my check. She's my.
Okay.
So she's.
But I work for the city and I'm not getting money from the city.
And then, of course, to go into the part that, there hasn't been any changes in the city that you accuse me of. We hired a city planner working on the land use management codes and new applications. We hired a finance administrator and updated to a new QuickBook system. We have personnel files that never existed before. We installed a time clock in the city hall for the street department and other city employees. We moved out of Rob Russell's building. We updated the personnel policy. We're working on a purchasing policy. The city now has credit cards, P cards, which are being controlled. There's a dog park that probably was approved by the splash funds that I'm waiting to hear back for. We got playground equipment on the way. We have the swings that were set up. The train is going to be here Tuesday. We have safety classes that the city department, the streets department's had to take. We hired a deputy clerk in the city hall after interviewing several other people, non-related to Ms. Martinez, to help with the traffic court and doing the city carpet. The police department now has their own space, not under anybody's office, and the street department has a new building. So that's none of the changes that have occurred.
Those are great things, but the problem with the business silly too. And you can hide that all day long and show a whole list of stuff you've done. And I really would like to get into this North Jackson Food Mart as well, because this is another thing that you guys have done with spending and having signatures and,
Before we get into that, okay? So again, I defend the right of the Martinez's to work and be servants of the city.
Okay.
However, you're right in that it does bring into question the conflict of interest in terms of ethics, right?
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of that sort of thing, moving forward, this is where the November 11th work session absolutely matters, because we got to make sure that we've got that budget approved in terms of policy,
Yeah.
right? And then on the 18th, that's when we plan on passing that.
Yeah.
And then that's where we're also going to be able to implement those changes that you're looking for in terms of making sure that when we have candidates,
Yes.
right, maybe we need to put in limits in terms of you can't have family members working in the same building, or you can't have family members working in the
There
same
you go.
department. You can't. So again, all these things are definitely an issue,
Yeah.
but we can do that moving forward. We don't necessarily have to penalize somebody for stuff that's already.
I haven't penalized anybody. I'm just asking why this was changed and what happened. And, I mean, listen, if you don't ask for questions, you don't ask for documents, you don't review what's going on in your city, then how are you ever going to know, right?
All right. Hey, again, I had no idea about the North Jackson thing. And again, I'm kind of curious about the food mart, why it's not itemized, but it was explained.
I'm sure you'll get an excuse for that here in a minute, too. I mean, listen, if I can present it and show, we can go over that as well.
Lord,
I hate to be the bad guy.
You're not.
Sometimes you gotta be the bad guy, right?
That's right, you're asking questions. Right, Mr. Roberts? Asking questions.
I never have.
He's never been the So, a few months ago, I asked Jennifer, do you guys have a debit card? She said, yes, we do have a debit card. It's locked up in the city hall. Renee and myself are the only people who have regular access to it. Department heads have access to it after getting their purchases approved and going through Bill, Renee, and myself. That sound about, is that kind of how it works?
that's right, we had a debit card, city never had any credit cards or anything like that. So when I became mayor, there are some companies that require credit card payments instead of checks before you can buy anything. So we got a debit card. The debit card was a temporary step between us getting the purchase cards, the P cards, which we now have. So the debit card is basically sitting there in limbo, not being used, and I personally would like to have it destroyed and, removed.
Why?
First, it opens up. The debit card opens up the general fund total.
So does a check that goes in the mail that somebody steals and hacks the account too, right?
Sure, if somebody steals and hacks.
So does this list of I don't know what these things are. I asked for these invoices, and you guys sent me a bunch of these little square IOUs to where the street department was able to go up there and sign whatever they want. You said it was gas, but it doesn't say gas on here. I don't know what it is.
The North Jackson Food Market up there we had a verbal purchasing account there. So it was agreed to, and I just continued what they had in place when I got elected. And what happens is the road department, when they're cutting grass, they'll take the lawnmowers up there, run 3 loads at a time. The reason why the amounts are different, and they'll fill up the gas at the gas pumps, and they'll go in,
But you can't use debit card for that? What is this? Why all these IOUs? Debit card would track it.
I don't want the debit card out there to expose the general fund to be.
But your finance person told the council member after he asked her, what is the process? Do you have a debit card? And she said, the heads come to me, or Renee or you, they ask for the debit card, and then they go purchase what they need. And immediately, do you want me to read it again? They run back with the debit card. So you don't care what she said.
I don't care what she votes.
So what she's saying is council, what you're saying is two different
I'm
things.
just telling you what the policy is, that the debit card that we got, when they ask for the debit card, like if the police wanted something like that, they come with a quote, and then we would call the company and supply it with the debit card number. They did not take the debit card out. We had it to a quote that we then process it that way.
So this list here of receipts that we're getting
It
here,
has nothing to do with the debit. What they do is just, in the old time, you had the little card, you put your credit card in there, you slide the machine.
but why are we doing that if we have a debit card? I'm just confused with the whole thing.
It's a monthly account. I mean, you've got certain things that can
I
happen.
understand that.
But
How do you keep track of it?
I agree.
How do you keep track of it?
We keep track.
Things should be.
The road department comes back with their slip of paper.
Uh-huh.
Okay? They bring back a receipt,
Uh-huh.
all right? The gas station up there keeps his copy, all right?
Uh-huh.
Now, if they're just buying gas, there's nothing written on it. So the card is basically blank and have a dollar amount. There'll be all different varying dollar amounts because it depends on how many lawnmowers showed up and they're pumping gas out of one pump in the various lawnmowers. So.
But my question is, how do we know that that's gas? How do we not know that that's beer or
When they buy,
Coke or?
they've been told when they buy something else like ice or water, they're not allowed to buy any personal drinks or anything like that. So if they buy something that is going to bring bottles of water back or bags of ice that we need, that they write on there, that's what it
But,
is.
I mean, wouldn't that be programmed in? I mean, when you see.
No, it's not, it's on the old time credit, when you have to put your credit card in the machine, and
Okay.
that's what it was.
All right.
That's what he's been using.
So let me tell you what she said the process is. Because every process that Bill is telling me is different than what Jennifer said, so I don't know. I'm getting very confused. The general rule is that only fuel can be purchased using the account unless otherwise approved and noted on the receipt in writing. We have been trusting our employees and the employees at North Jackson Food Mart to conduct business ethically.
So and we get this list. If you look at this list, he sends us a copy of his receipt. He totals them up. They're all totaled up. We take our receipts, total them up. That's amazing. Keep lining up. They end up being the same amount. So therefore, we then pay.
So I asked Jennifer this other question. Well, all of a sudden, are WEX cards being purchased and able to be used for gas for the streets department after I asked for bank statements and invoices? Jennifer says, I was not employed here when they had to call to set up the WEX accounts. I asked the mayor about getting WEX accounts for the equipment, and he told me that the representative said that it was not an option. I looked in it today, miraculously. She didn't write that, but miraculously, she looked into it today, the day that I asked for invoices and receipts. And guess what? WEX cards are approved. We are allowed to use WEX cards. We will no longer work with the North Jackson Food Mart. The WEX cards have been ordered and are on the way. Is that
That's what she wrote, yes. My thought was that when he got done transferring from, what was it, Sunoco station to the Marathon, I was going to go up and get a credit card for the Marathon gas company. But, Jennifer got in touch with Major Pool, and when we applied for this stuff originally, the WEX cards, that we were told that no, you couldn't get, equipment that had the registration number, license plate, such and such. So therefore, no WEX cards were applied for at that time. So we were told, apparently we were told some wrong information when we applied for the WEX cards originally. So now, if she's applied for the WEX cards, it'll probably be here in a couple of weeks. I think we're getting 2 WEX cards for the lawn equipment.
Who was able to sign those IOUs at the Food Mart?
Just the city employees?
All the city employees?
No, just the street department. They didn't sign it. They were just.
They didn't sign it? I got a whole bunch of them signed right now.
They signed it. That's just signed them when they went to get it.
So the street department was able to sign?
Yeah. As per.
So all of them?
If they're running a lawnmower, they need a gift.
Yeah. So Jennifer told me only 2 people were allowed to sign those, but Dean told me that only 4 of them were able to sign. Dean, Dwayne, Pacey, and Corey.
Right.
So those are the ones
That's it. That's the street department.
And he asked you to go get gas out of there because they were stealing gas over somewhere. Where were they stealing gas from?
Out of Bob's, when they were sitting at Bob's house down the road.
So even after he became mayor, they were stored over there still? Is that when they were stealing? Because he said he started like in July.
Till we got the new building.
Mm-hmm.
Then we continued the purchase agreement that was in place before with the North Jackson. So there's no more gas cans floating around.
So in July, he came to you about that?
Well,
he said July.
Yeah.
So they were still?
Well, I mean, they were stealing the gas beforehand because when they were using the Quick Trip card that they used to have, they would go down to the Quick Trip, fill up about 10 gas cans, bring them up to the house here on Pine Street, that they would store in all the equipment, and the gas cans would be sitting there, and they'd go back to fill up the lawnmowers, and they'd be empty. So therefore, that's one of the reasons why we ended up doing with the North Jackson, to, reestablish what was done in the past, to just, go in and sign it, and,
the way they did it in the past.
Yeah.
But we didn't like the way they did it in the past, right?
what with the
way things were running here in the city. We didn't like the way they were doing it.
But it's convenient.
But we went and did it anyway because it was convenient, as long as it fit what we wanted.
It was convenient, and as long as the funding, and we checked the balances each month, and they seemed to be accurate, and they were adding up equally.
I don't know how to check balances on that thing. I can't even track that for anything.
Well, if you come into the office, I can show you the original. Sometimes when you make copies of stuff, they're not as clear as the original. So if you want, I have a whole stack that thick of the originals that were brought back to the city.
I just don't know why we use that process anyway, but that's all I have.
Anybody? Any other comments by the council?
I want to remind everybody that voting is next Tuesday, so please show up, please vote.
Okay, I'll now open it up for public discussion. Anybody have any public comments? You have 2 minutes. Come on up. You can come up.
Take your name and address.
That's your name?
And then in the back,
They will, one other part tree. I just want to know how to solve this. Because I heard good things about it, and, people want to come back already. That was it.
It was amazing. We're really proud of it.
Oh, did we get like anything from like the car show or the fall festival, like proceeds from anything or?
No, we didn't ask for a vendor fee. We want to kind of establish the event first. And, from the car show either, we were really just giving them a place.
What we found out is that there's now several hundred people that know where Fremont Street is.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, for feet, so that we want to grow. I have a question. County put out questions about things that would be available in terms of the Parks and Rec. And I made a suggestion, if it's possible, maybe the council can look into if there's any land available that the county would be able to use to establish an aquatic center. They're trying to find different things for Jackson County kids and families to do. I only asked that, my daughter's on the swim team, and actually, I drive all the way to Georgia Tech so that she can practice for diving.
Isn't it?
Jefferson's about to open one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's open.
Beach Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not there?
They won't let them.
What do you mean they won't let them swim?
Nope.
Why is that?
Our team is not allowed to go there.
Your team is not allowed to go there. Why is that? You said it's for the county, right?
Yeah.
And what's your
But
record?
the Jefferson, I think, owns the Jefferson
Yeah,
City.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're big exclusive. So right now, you're gonna have to go up to Gainesville, is that what you're saying, and do the swim team?
Well, our swim team for Jackson County High School, right now, they're paying Gwinnett County to use their facility.
Gotcha.
And Jackson County has asked the community what do we want and what we need. And I think that
Aquatic.
Pendergrass would be great if we.
Well, there is something that the city owns or is trying to get straightened out. There's a 24-acre plot off of 129 that the city owns that I was going to bring up to the council about seeing if we can do something with the county, maybe turn it over to the park and get
I
something.
mean, it does.
Yeah.
But we have to wait till we get paperwork straightened out when.
But Parks and Rec would be great. I mean, it's great. A lot.
Yeah, there's like a 24-acre plot right at the end of the warehouse in between Allen Creek subdivision. There's 24 acres that is going to belong to the city.
Y'all can get with the county, it'd be great.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just on August the 30th, there's a guy Brian Millman, around the city and put stuff out Trump on the everything. And September the 1st, Gonad put my name out to the public, the police department, and everything else. I wondered why he put my life in danger. That's good.
I did.
Man, you put it to everybody, internet, everybody.
I did.
Good. Okay.
What did he post?
My picture right here.
I posted that?
Yeah, you posted this.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes.
No, I didn't. Where was I supposed to that?
On reason of
I didn't post your picture anywhere.
Yes, you did.
I absolutely did not. I didn't.
for that on Facebook.
Facebook, internet, everybody.
I didn't post a picture anywhere.
People at my work asked me, just why did you do this? When I never did do it. I ain't around here, but why did you put my
That's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't post your picture anywhere.
So how did I get it?
Wait,
Is that Jackson County? Because Jackson County,
vandalism was going around?
Yes.
That looks like a Jackson County picture. I didn't post it.
Jackson County.
It was actually posted by somebody in our neighborhood of whoever put it on there. I didn't post that. That come off our Probably our neighborhood website. I didn't post that.
You put my name as Justin's name.
I didn't put your name anywhere. I'm sorry. Wrong guy.
Yes, I got more information to
Cause
it.
that came up.
So you might find something with my name on there, but I posted it and bring it
He's
here.
not talking about this one, he's talking about
Yes,
shoot.
where you.
I didn't post those. Those were posted in our neighborhood somewhere. I didn't post
So
those.
again,
But he,
Was that-
more stuff.
I didn't post that.
who made this paper?
Frank. And I meant,
There's no evidence.
he tore something.
Oh, this picture. You crazy.
I'm sorry, sir, but there's
That's
nothing
ridiculous.
here that would indicate that he made this.
Find something with my name on it. Please. Find something with my name.
These are
Bring it back.
completely separate entities.
I got more information.
I mean,
Bring it back.
yeah, 'cause I'm sorry,
I got
that's not evidence.
I got more evidence.
Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. My name is Kirk Davis. I'm an investigator at Pendergrass Police Department. And I believe we're doing everything that's right. And I'm sick and tired of watching us all separate from each other. I'm not on anybody's side. But I spent day and night staying away from my family so I could bring closer to the city to find the guy that actually went and done these things about saying things about Trump, saying things about ICE. Sometimes when you all are laying in your bed to sleep, I'm up at night doing what I got to do. Just give you an idea about myself. I've had the opportunity to stand with President Trump. I was also assigned to Congressman Rob Woodall. I also had the opportunity to be with Robert Williams to kill Sergeant Lodge. I've been around, but I still was right in prison. This may be career suicide, but I will not stand by while you call another man a liar. You sent that email to me. He said, I don't. He said, you said it all right. I said what you did. He sent it to my email, and I went to the bureau, and I found somebody else that did.
Are you a man? Are you a detective? I didn't post this picture online.
That's what the thing is. You're not a nigga, but I'm a civilized. That's no problem.
So you're out talking about an investigation. I didn't post that online. You're a liar. You're a liar. I didn't post that online. I might send it to you to investigate a few people.
You're a liar.
You're lying. For you lying. You ain't told somebody that I posted this picture online. That's a lie. You're a liar.
We get back to open conversation.
I just had something.
No?
You're a liar. No, we're not gonna talk about it. Just calm down a minute. Just see.
All I was gonna say was, the lady was talking about, he was talking about the 26 acres y'all have up there. The apartments has 20 acres of green space behind it. That subdivision has 60 acres of green space behind it. Be a great park if you could get with the county and find out what you can do. I've even tried to get the county to get involved and put a playground down there.
The problem is, I don't know what Heritage is going to do with.
They can't do anything. They can't do anything with it except, I mean, they can't never develop it or nothing. It's just sitting there.
I know it's sitting there, and I know, that it would be nice.
It'd be a great place for parks.
Yeah.
It'd be 60 acres down there that's
Yeah,
sitting
it'd be
there.
nice to have a park on this side of town.
Yes, that's why I was just saying whenever she was talking.
Yeah,
about
I gotta wait till, they're done with what they're doing before I can really approach it too much about it. I know it,
I was talking to the county myself about it, 60 acres there, and they said they could build ball fields and stuff on it and everything and all, but I don't know if anybody's done anything else about it.
Like I said,
It'd be a great place.
it's privately owned property right now, so we have to see what happens there.
I was just gonna bring up that green space, I didn't know what y'all knew was there or not.
Yeah. Are there any other questions?
And thank you for your job, I think you've done a great job changing the city and everything, but we do need to get these little things worked out.
Yeah.
And we got problems with it.
Is there any other comments? Okay. No other comments then? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting and to go into executive session?
Motion.
Second. I have a vote?
Aye.
Okay, this council meeting, and we're going into executive session, and you will all have to do it.
Come back.
Yeah, we'll come back in.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes.
So, one of you will have Oh, and I need to end this stream. I'm gonna